Well, a very good morning and welcome to Lillehammer here in Norway. It's the 2021 World Para Snow Sports Championship. My name is Peter Selby and it is a warm welcome. But looking at the pictures out there, it is very cold this morning. The mist and fog has descended on Lillehammer. But we're in for a real treat today because we have the cross-country sprint competition just about to get underway. All the categories, men and women, all ready to take part. As we get to the final weekend of these Para Snow Sports Championship, first time in history that the Para Alpine Skiing, Para Biathlon, Para Cross Country and Para Snowboard World Champs have been held in the same city at the same time. Wonderful, historical Lillehammer. Famous, of course, for the 1994 Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games. Plenty of championships have been held here since. Superb facilities in Lillehammer. We come to the end of this 12-day competition. Final medals to be handed out here at the Nordic Centre. Today, very busy day. There'll also be alpine skiing and the snowboarding as well. You can keep up to date with all the events happening across Lillehammer if you go to our social media channels at Para Snow Sports. You can find all of the highlights. Keep up to date again with all the events across Lillehammer today. But our attention here at the Nordic Centre will be on this sprint cross country. Now the temperature -2, so slightly warmer in fact than it's been for the final few days of this competition. Down as -5, -6 the other day. This is the course for the sitting category, just a maximum climb of 3 meters. Total climb 7 overall, 0.8 kilometer distance. Wind obviously very light as well, hence the reason that the fog has moved in. But over this sprint distance shouldn't really be a problem at all. Obviously the biathlon competition has finished. It's of course a bit of an issue if that was the case. Now the standing category over 1.3 kilometers and a maximum climb 22 meters. Total climb 38 as they come back into the stadium complex. The standing category will follow on from the sprint. And then following that to maximum climb of 19 meters. Total climb 26 in the VI. And again, back into the stadium. This is the lineup for the men's sprint sit-in. Ivan Golubkov, the 4-time gold medalist here in Lillehammer, will get us underway. Big field for the men's sprint sit-in in this qualification round. So 18 competing. There will be 2 semi-finals in the men's sprint, so we're looking for 6 in each. And then 6 will qualify for the final. So 12 to go through from the qualification. And as we go through the competition, each classification will have their own sets, depending on how many are in the starting lineup. But essentially, we are looking for 6 athletes then in each semi-final. Women will follow. So Birgit Skarstein earlier. She'll be looking for a medal, competing with the Americans, Oksana Masters, Kendall Gletch. But it will be the men to get us underway. So we'll be seeing the first few head off onto this 0.8 kilometer circuit. And then when they come back into the stadium, it will be fast and furious. First 12 then to go through to the semi-finals. This man, 4 gold medals for Ivan Golubkov of RPC. It was somewhat of a surprise, really. and he hasn't made it 5. We have had 5 medals. He was beaten in the men's individual sit-in biathlon, down in 6th. He had a bit of a shocker with the rifle. No rifles this time. So the men's sitting cross-country sprint underway. We're underway here in Lillehammer on this penultimate day of competition. Qualification rounds. Hold on tight at home, wherever you are around the world. Sit back and enjoy this qualification round. The semis then will quickly follow on after, and then it will be the finals. It's going to be a very, very enjoyable day. If you've never watched any para snow sports before, sit back and enjoy. We've got the 3 classifications. We've got the sit-in, we've then got the stand-in, and we've got the VI, vision impaired, categories. And it's nice and easy. Get to the line first in the quickest time. Hopefully you qualify, and you go through to the semi-finals and then final. It is sprinting after all. Very powerful Ivan Golovkov, strong upper arms. Slightly different to a few of the sitting athletes, going down some of the slopes really well, especially in this sprint discipline as well. Carry on pushing when a lot go into a bit of a tuck position. I think that'll be the case here, but even over further distances, Golovkov will essentially just keep on going, just ploughing through the snow. More and more athletes setting off, by the way. It's not just Golovkov out on the track, plenty more starting in these intervals, about 30 seconds. And we'll pick them up as they come back into the stadium. First though to cross the line will be the 4-time gold medalist. So this time will be difficult for many to beat. So let's find out the time then of Ivan Golovkov. It's going to be around 2 minutes and 30. 2 minutes and 27.28. Looks very comfortable for Golovkov. Oh, Giuseppe Romele. My word, what a week he's had. Silver in the middle distance cross country, 11th in the long distance cross country on Tuesday. Go back and watch that. He was going to win a gold medal, but went off on another circuit. Ended up finishing in 11th. It would have been a clear gold medal winner. And a little bit of revenge here. And he goes quickest of the lot. 0.56 in front of Golovkov. Over the brow of the final mound will be number 3, Dalila Britic. He's had a very good championships. 4 times bronze medalist here. Britic into the home straight of around about 70 meters or so when they level off. Britic being chased down by Talis Rad.
Britic is outside the 2 first. Let's see for Rad. Britic 2:32.70. Rad
2:32.70 Rad. 2:32.76. Rad would have been one of my picks actually for an outside chance of a medal. Silver and bronze in the biathlon. 3-time world champion 2019. Very classy athletes. Daniel Knudsen of the United States. Silver medalist in Prince George in 2019, the previous World Championships. Knudsen will be a danger to everyone here. This time, though, Down in 5th place, 16.66 seconds. Not what the American was looking for at all. Christian Mesmeyer Rivera, well, that's a very quick time, 1.79 seconds. And he goes into the lead, the Brazilian, delighted. Might well be enough to go through. Vasily Kravchuk finished 5th in the sprint in 2019. Silver in the sprint biathlon, so has the speed over the shorter distance, but he's going to be outside of the leader's time. Through in 5th place, just ahead of Blitik. Shin Yu-hyun of Korea. Here comes the Korean. Silver in the long distance cross country. Should really have been the gold medalist in the individual biathlon, down in 7th place. Very disappointing final round of shooting, cost him the gold medal. Aaron Pike, though, he picked up the silver in that competition. He was 4th in the sprint in 2019, being cheered on by fellow American athletes, waiting to set off in the women's sit-in. Pike, times are ticking by. Going to be inside Yu-hyun in 7th place, the American Pike. Pablo Bal won that individual biathlon. It was a tremendous competition. So Pablo Bal, here's going to be a quick time for Bal. Inside the first 4th for Bal, ahead of Talis Rad. Should be enough to qualify. Good pace from the Boyd Bal for that gold medal.
Leading time 2:24.93 for Rivera. 16th starting is Alexiot, Ukraine. Next is Krzysztof Pleva from Poland. Then Christian Furube, Sweden.
Maxim Yovli of Ukraine. Not quite in the form of 2015-2017. Two-time world champion over the sprint distance. 11 seconds outside. Yu-hyun will be touch and go whether he qualifies. Scott Mean of Great Britain in 11th place.
We have 12 through the line, so now we will start to lose races for the semi-final. Alexei
Chenuk then of RPC, already outside leader's time.
43.38 is now the 12th time.
Scott Meena's time, 2:39.74. Outside of that with the factored time. Remember, the first 12 go through into the two semi-finals, 6 in each. Martin Flag of Germany. Final 10 meters. At the moment, at 2:39.97, he's going to be inside that, into the top 10. Could be enough for Flag. Still plenty more athletes, though. Big field, 31. This is Steve Arnold, Great Britain. Again, 2:39.74 is the target. It's going to be just outside of that, Arnold. Arnold crosses in 2:45.57 and down in 15th. The 17-year-old Ukrainian Nalesic into the straight. Being chased actually by Ploa, the Polish athlete, who is way more than double his age. 14th for the young Ukrainian. Now here is the 46-year-old then. Christoph Ploa. It's going to be outside of the top 12 at the moment. Scott Mina just hanging on in that 12th place. We're over halfway with the competitors. Ribeira of Brazil with the fastest time so far. 1.79 seconds from Mele, Gobkov third, Balrad, Kravchuk, Rutik, Pike. Christian Froberg of Sweden, 14th in the sprint 2019. It's going to be close. 2:38.34 into 11th place. So into an automatic qualification place. That drops Scott Mina out into 13th. Shin Yu Hyun of Korea is sitting in 12th place, the danger seat. Steve Thomas of Great Britain being encouraged to the line. From Barry in Wales. And Steve Thomas down in 18th place, 2:45 and 98. Number 20, Dmitry Loban. Loban, who was a silver medalist in Pyeongchang in this event. Not near that form at the moment. He's going to be down around 18th place for Loban. 17th, in fact, for the Belarusian. Tremendous silver medal in Pyeongchang.
And the 21 is Kandratau, also from Belarus.
Kandratau, the Belarus athlete. 12th place then is 2:39.63. Going to be outside of that. So at the moment, the silver medalists from Pyeongchang and also Prince George in Knossen and Loban are going to be out of the competition. Won Yu-min of Korea. Very calm in the home straights. It's going to be outside of that 2:39.63. That's the time for 12th place. Again, 12 go through into two semi-finals of 6.
Charlie RPC is on the last meters, number 23. Also outside. Can you take
Chennai down in then 23rd place. Only a few more to go. 34-year-old Josip Lima of Argentina, Nicolas Lima, 22, former para swimmer. It's going to be outside of the qualification time. Make it 7 to go. Huge encouragement being given to these athletes as well. by the coaches, also the women as well in their sitting competition. Just to the right as we see down the home straight. The start line on the left. We've got a crowd, mainly of Norwegians, obviously. They'll be cheering on their athletes shortly. But look at that, giving every encouragement to these athletes in the home straight. Shibata of Japan. Being overtaken there by Schultz of Belarus. 17th place for him. And you start now to wonder whether the 12 have been formed. Shin Yu-kyun will still be sweating in 12th place. John Jae-suk, Korea. Another is going to be outside of the 12. After this, the women's competition following very quickly. Qualification there. And then we'll be on to the standing. And then the VI, and then quickly on to the semi-finals. 26th place for John Jae-suk. Badiani of Georgia, outside of 3 minutes, set 3 minutes 11.93. Josip Zima, the Croatian, will be next. 34-year-old. Down the final slope they come, and then there's just a little bit of an incline. Carry the speed from that downhill section. Should take you over that incline, and then you're into the flats, home straight. Zima. Once again, great encouragements by the crowd. They'll be cheering on Birgit Starstein in a short while in her qualification. Two more athletes to follow. And these are the final two. Bjornstad of Norway hasn't been competing in Para-Nordic skiing for long. He crosses the line, changing from swimming. I've got chlorine allergy, and only a couple of years ago changed to Paralympic cross-country skiing. World champion para swimmer will just get better and better with more experience. But it's the Brazilian Christian Westmeyer Ribeira who's in front, and he qualifies quickest all the way down to 12th place, and Shin Yu-kyun gets through by the skin of his teeth. Unlucky for Scott Mina in that unlucky 13th place. But the big names are through. Romele, Golubkov, Bal, Rad, Kravchuk, Britik, Pike, and Shin Yu-kyun, the last to qualify. But it's Ribeira at the moment who is setting the pace in the sprint. On to the women's sprint sitting class. Power-packed field. They'll be led off by Oksana Masters, the defending champion. the way down to the two Norwegians. There's Oksana Masters then. It's not really been her competition in this World Championship. She has got a gold medal in the long distance cross country. I kept mentioning on commentary, her shooting in the biathlon was not as its best and really has cost her. Gold medals galore for Kendall Gletsch. She's got 3 gold medals so far, and we're looking for another one here. Stina Schitz, silver and a bronze in the cross-country events. Last check's being made for Santos Floscher. So athletes just keeping warm down at the start. So we've had the men in the sitting competition. A couple of minutes away then before Oksana Masters will get us underway. And once again, there will be 12 qualifying for the semi-finals. At the start of the week, remember Anja Vicker winning gold in the sprint biathlon. One of the closest finishes that we've had. Certainly one to go and watch back. One of the many highlights here from Lillehammer. See the mist and the fog just lingering slightly, although it has cleared. Very still morning in Norway. Bit of snow overnight. The trees opposite the combox have got a tinge of white, which they haven't had in this competition. Quite a lack of snow that we've had. But at the moment, it's I will put down as absolutely perfect conditions. Oksana Masters looking for what will be her 3rd consecutive sprint gold world championship. Winner in 2017. Dominated the cross-country events in Prince George in 2019, winning all 3. We know she has the raw pace, and surely is the favourite for this women's sitting class. Oksana Masters then of the United States to get the women's competition underway. She's just watched her partner Aaron Pike qualify in the men's. Well, 17 will be taking part, 12 will go through, so it should be very comfortable for Masters. If you heard there, Aaron Pike in the background shouting, push hard in the first, and then cruise in the second. Again, more and more athletes getting underway off screen. Second athletes, Zenluina, she's underway every 30 seconds, and then once again, the athletes thick and fast will come into the home straight, and it's a case of checking the times. A very, very exciting sport. If you're new to para winter sports, you're here in Lillehammer, Norway, with us live at the World Para Snow Sports Championship. First time in history again that the Para Alpine Skiing, Para Biathlon, the Para Cross Country, which you're seeing right now, and also the Para Snowboard World Championships, all at the same time, in the same place, in the same city. Fantastic 12 days of competition. And this is the cross country sprint. 1 lap. It's 0.8 kilometers in the sitting class. And out of these 17, we're looking for 12 to go through to the semi-finals. So it should be routine for Masters. Don't want any errors. It's the only thing I can think of, really. That can stop Masters from qualifying, and imagine maybe qualifying as the fastest. Two-time defending champion, so this is the full circuit. Up this incline. This is the steepest part. And down again. This is where you can carry the speed over the final incline and then into the home straight, around about 75 metres or so. I'm not going to lie, I haven't paced it out, to be honest. A little too cold. Nice and warm in the commentary box. Oksana Masters then into the home straight. So this is the time then for the rest to try and chase. Going to be outside of around 2:45. And 2:47.63 then is the time for Oksana Masters. Marta Zenloina of RPC finished fourth in the sprint in 2015. She's been just outside of the medal so far in Lillehammer, 6th and 7th. She finished 4th in the middle distance biathlon, closest that she's got to a medal. And the difference is clear to see between herself and Masters, 11.5 seconds. Kocherova, also of RPC. Successful championships, 2 silver medals and a bronze. Finished 5th in the sprint in Pyeongchang. So she has the pedigree for this discipline. And Kocherova, I think, is going to be a outside chance of a medal. Kendall Gretsch, 3 gold medals so far in Lillehammer. The bronze medal winner in 2019. It's going to be outside of Masters' time, 9 seconds. But really Masters is in a class of her own. So far in second, Gretsch. More and more athletes finishing. You've still got 3 or 4 to start. Maybe even more than that. Half a dozen or so. Helene dos Santos, crusher of Brazil. Well, she's just seen a Brazilian qualify fastest in the men's competition. And surely that's going to give herself a boost. Finished 4th in the sprints in the World Cup event in 2018, so she does have the speed. Times are ticking by. And it will be 3 minutes 2.52. And it's now a waiting game to see where she will end up. Here's Anja Vicker. Abda Karamova as well. In fact, Vicker's gone past her. So this is Anja Vicker in front, even though she has 107 compared to 106. So she's caught up that 30 seconds, and the German gold medal winner in the sprint biathlon. Into the straights, and Vicker. He's not going to beat Masters' time, but should be safely inside the qualification. First 12. In fact, she's up in second, Vicker. 37 seconds down for Abdi Karamova. Valentina Schietz of Belarus. Silver and a bronze so far in the cross country, and look at that for a time. 700ths of a second outside of Masters. This is going to be after timing of the highest degree. But I was going to mention Schitz as probably the one athlete in this field, I think, who can really give Masters a challenge. Unfortunately, her time went by, and it now seems like I'm just going on what's just happened. I assure you, I do have a little star next to her name. Loban, fourth in the individual biathlon. That was heartbreak for Loban. 1.2 seconds outside of her medal. It was Masters who managed to claw back nearly a minute on the final lap of the individual and deny Loban. Ninth place for the first of the Norwegians. Here's Birgit Skarstein. Crowd favourites. The Norwegian flag bearer from Pyeongchang, fourth in the World Championships in 2019, and she will be the last to start in the competition. Marie Meunier of Germany will qualify. Meunier then in 6th place. That should be plenty enough. Again, the first 12 to qualify. There will be 6 in each of the semi-finals. Oh no, Kukla. Might well have been outside of the 12. Surely that's cost her not only the seconds on her side, but also the momentum as well. She's going to be outside of the 3:24.74. I think she may well have just been inside that. We'll find out how much she may be outside of the 12 in a very short while. Shastina of Belarus, competing in all the events here in Lillehammer. Valentina, the 19-year-old from the Ukraine, in the yellow and blue of the Ukraine, which we've seen on the podiums on many occasions. 1, 2, 3s for the Ukraine in some of the events. Valentina then will be down the field here. 3 more athletes after her. Hope Gordon, Isabel Velen of Norway, and Skarstein as well, who we saw set off only a couple of minutes ago. And there is Hope Gordon in the background from Great Britain. The time of 3:24.74. Going to be close. She's inside that time. Pushes the Norwegian down into 12th place. Here's Hope Gordon. She's going to be outside of that time, unfortunately for her. And in currently 15th place. So at the moment she doesn't push anyone else down. 2 more athletes, and they're both Norwegian. So listen to the crowd here. Valère of Norway will be the first. She's going to be outside of the qualification time. Skarstein, though, who's on the right of your screen, here she is. She's going to be well inside qualification. Let's just find out what time. 9th place. So she qualifies, but I think she'll be looking to go an awful lot quicker than that. in the semi-finals if she's going to qualify for the final. Safely through though, which is the main thing when it comes to this qualification period. It doesn't really matter where you finish, but I think Skarstein will have been hoping to have gone quicker there. The smile at the moment, which we've seen on her face all week, has gone. Well, Oksana Masters coasted to the fastest time, but Valentina Schitz is only 700th of a second outside of her time. Vika Glech all qualifying all the way down to Valentina, who just gets in there in 12th place. Those are the 5 athletes that unfortunately haven't qualified. Very comfortable for Masters. Just a slight error of judgment there, maybe just even carrying too much speed. And Masters, the favourite for the gold, qualifies in top spots. So the next competition is 8 minutes away, which is the men's sprint stand-in, and they'll be underway at 10:45 local time here in Lillehammer. Only 8 minutes away. So the men's sprint stand-in class with Vladislav Komsev leading out all the athletes in 30-second intervals, the 5-time gold medalist here in Lillehammer. Will surely be one of the qualifiers. Couple of minutes away then from the start, and once again it will be 12 who go through to the semi-finals, 2 semi-finals then of 6. Vladislav Komsev, surely one of the favourites. Do have the defending world champion. There he is, Benjamin Davier. Couple of bronze medals for him in Lillehammer so far this time round. Helgen will be going for Norway.
1 minute now to start.
Be the penultimate athlete to set off. So only a few minutes away. Of course, that's slightly changed with the standing and then VI. So the max climb now 25 meters. Now here is Vladislav Komsev, the athlete of these games. 5 gold medals. Can he make it? A perfect 6 from 6. And he's the first to go underway then in the men's stand-in sprint qualification round. And again, first 12 of these athletes to go through to the semi-finals later on this morning, and then the finals early part of the afternoon. Komsev out into the mist, and well, it started to clear the fog this morning, and then started to call it mist. I think it's come back in slightly, so we're back into fog territory, in my opinion anyway. Shouldn't really be a problem at all in this event. Just the 1 lap, no shooting obviously. Biathlon is now finished. Athletes setting off. Malchev is away. Onishev, one of the dangers. Nigilov and also then Davier. Komsev fairly sprinting up the incline. Tremendous all-round athletes. Once again, reaching an incline. Look at that for technique. It's where Komsev picks up plenty of time. Into the tuck position. Maintaining the speed through the downhill section. Now, normally I'll be able to see them out of my window, but at the moment they are completely in the gloom. These pictures, by the way, looking an awful lot clearer than what it actually is on the track here. Komsev emerges. There's the steep incline. Down he will come, in towards the stadium. One more incline to come. He should keep the speed though. And look at that, doesn't even bother. Down he comes, he'll carry the speed over this bump. He knows he's done enough in the first part of the lap. And into the home straight comes Vladislav Lekomtsev, trying to qualify then for what will be his 6th gold medal in Lillehammer. Unprecedented success for the RPC athletes. And we'll set the time that the rest will be aiming for, but understandably will more than likely be outside. 2 minutes 59.60, so under 3 minutes for Lekomtsev. Vitaly Malishev, silver medal in the individual biathlon. Bronze in the long distance cross country here in Lillehammer, but this is over the short distance. It's going to be outside of 3 minutes, but not by a lot though. 3 minutes or 1.7 seconds, so that's a good time for Malishev and should be fine. Minigalov also of RPC, good sprinter. World Championship medalist in the past. And currently in 3rd at these early stages. Here's the defending champion, Benjamin Davier. Just the 2 bronze medals so far in these championships. Davier, who's been cheered on by plenty of French supporters. And the defending champ, he's going to be outside of 3 minutes. Davier crosses 3 minutes and 8.64. Should be okay, the Frenchman. Defending champ crosses the line. And again, it's just about being inside the first 12. Now, next to a pair should be Alexander Pronkov, but you don't know. There could be 1 or 2 athletes catching up. We've seen so far in the other classifications, the 30-second intervals have been overtaken. Well, Pronkov almost losing his balance there, giving himself a real fright. Into the home straight, and Alexander Pronkov, medalist here in Lillehammer, 5th in Sochi in the sprint. Should still qualify, but you don't want to end up on the snow or ruin your time. Not only the amount of time on the snow, but also in that section as well. You'll lose all of the downhill speed. Let's see that again. Alexander Pronkov has done extremely well to stay on his skis. Skilpin has another athlete behind him. That would be Kodlozarov. Kodlozarov, that's a good time. 13 seconds then. Skilpin's time just ahead when you enter the factored times. Factored times on the right of your screen. Marco Meyer, see there, 92%. So effectively 92% then added on to his time compared to other athletes, depending on their classification. For example, Vladislav Lekomtsev will have 90%, Malishev 88%, 92% Minigalov. Again, depending on their classification, LW 6, 8, but LW2 athletes here in Benjamin Davier. Tyler of Germany. LW4, so 97%. And the 52-year-old finished 6th in 2019, crosses the line, currently in 9th place. So effectively, you can have two athletes starting 30 seconds apart. One will catch the other on track, but then that factored time, depending on the, again, classification of the two athletes, it could mean that the one who's been caught can actually still be in front. Plenty of information on both the Paralympic websites. Also, if you do search online, very easy to find out all of the classifications, but it is nice and simple, just gives a very level playing field for these athletes. Plenty more athletes then filtering through. At the moment, in 12th place, Isla's time will be the one that many people will be aiming for. As we start to go down the field, the race for that 12th will be the main talking point in this qualification.
Lillehammer has broken the 3 minutes here, as we are taking home Luka Tavaski of Switzerland.
Tavaski of Switzerland. And here's an example of the two athletes then crossing each other on track, but again we'll have to wait for them to cross the line. Romaniuk. LW8. So arm impairment. Skiers in this sport class have a moderate impairment affecting one arm. For example, cannot flex the elbow or fingers on one side, or they have a below elbow amputation using just the one pole, which you can see. Also the case exactly for Christian Tonielli of Italy. So their percentage will be fairly high, 92%, gives you an indication. So we now have 12 athletes and more who have crossed the line, so now we can have a fair indication of 12th place, and it actually remains with Alexander Ehler of Germany. So his time of 3 minutes 20.8 is the time to be looking for. Inside that time by quite a margin. It's a good time. Here comes Larsen. Larsen down in 15th place, being given a good cheer by the crowd. The Norwegian, 49-year-old. Looking at qualifications and also different classifications. Former sprint world champion in 2011 was Larsen, but that was in the sitting category, now in the standing. 12th place, Sapin now in 12th, 3 minutes at 20.40, so only a small difference to the German's time, who now drops down into 13th. Sigmund of Mongolia. It's going to be outside of the 3 minutes 20 time. 5 athletes to follow. His fellow Mongolian athlete follows in 14th place, again outside of the first 12. Drahun of Ukraine. Selfin Drahun is going to be outside of Sapin's time, who's sitting in the danger position of 12th, but more and more athletes go through. I make it only 3 athletes remaining. So Sapling could be okay. Hagen of Norway. Look at this for a time. This is going to be inside the 12. 8 seconds away from the leader, and is 4th quickest across the line. Well, that's a tremendous effort. Garcia of Spain is going to be outside of the time. Final athletes on track. Be outside of the 12. Tremendous time by Hagen. Just to go back to that, qualifying in 4th place. Former world champion, but you're going back to 2009.
benjamin Davier, France. 7 Vito Stupian, Poland. 8 Raman Shviridzenka, Belarus. 9 Alexander Prokop, RPC. 10 Ivan Kurto, Serov, RPC. 11 Sergei Romanuk, Ukraine.
So Lekomsev will qualify as the quickest, no surprise there, looking for his 6th gold medal. Malchev, Munigalov, Hagen was just seen go through. Meyer, Davier, Scorpin, all the way down to Balukto, who's just going to finish in front of Sapin in 12th place. Here we can see the eventual leaderboard. Lekomsev qualifying quickest. Good time by the Norwegian in 4th place, 46-year-old. And all the way down to 12th place. They all go through. Sapin then in the unlucky 13th place. Comfortable for Lekomsev, and on course for another gold. Women's standing competition then to follow. Ten athletes competing. There will be 2 semi-finals of 4, so 8 to qualify. So it should be very comfortable for the likely favourites, barring no accidents though. Already seen a real wobble from 1 or 2 athletes, including Sanna Masters around one of the bends. Tenkova Bauman, Ukraine, the number of athletes in this competition. Sydney Peterson there of the United States.
Just running.
I'd say one of the really good medal chances, and she's there alongside Daniela Orovic as well. But they're going to be led by Vilde Nielsen, and rightly so. Here is the defending champion from Norway, Vilde Nielsen, gold in the middle distance cross country earlier on in the week. 21 years old, defending champion. Very strong field in this women's standing. Qualification then, first 8 should be comfortable for the likes of Nielsen, with only 10 athletes. But again, that does mean any problems will be punished. So the defending champion leads off the women's standing competition, and will certainly be the athlete they'll be cheering on into the home straights. Same course. Setting off alongside Nielsen now, Ludmila Liashenko. You can just hear the beeps of the starter gates. And the Ukrainian, 2 gold medals in Lillehammer, probably the biggest danger. World champion 2017 was behind Vilde Nielsen in Prince George in 2019. With the form she's in, you could argue she is the favourite. Kononova goes off next. Two-time world champion, gold medalist from Vancouver. Shows you the depth of the field we have. Vilde Nielsen, and about halfway. Trying to carry as much speed into the inclines, working hard towards the top of the hills. Off goes Patenkova Baumann from the start, and then working hard on the flats, trying to carry as much speed as possible then into the downhill sections. Either will go into a tough position or just carry on, taking as much speed as she can. As she comes back towards the stadium, the lights shining in the gloom into the steepest incline, but the one where she'll carry most speed into. No problem at all, just has to keep steady on the skis. This is the section now, we've seen 1 or 2 find it quite tricky in these conditions. No problem for Vilde Nielsen though. Into the home straight she comes, and the final 75 metres. Vilde Nielsen, to the sounds of the Norwegian supporters. Cowbells are ringing, flags are being waved for Vilde Nielsen, trying to qualify for the semi-finals. And the defending champion is going to set the time that the others will be aiming for at 2:46.45. And it won't be long until the next few are through, and we'll find out how quick that time actually is. Vilde Nielsen then, looked to be a fairly comfortable run. Ludmila Liashenko, 2:46.45. The time of Vilde Nielsen, then into the home straight already. Just outside of 10 seconds when she levelled off, so she'll be outside of Vilde Nielsen. I've got it around about 15 to 16 seconds in the straight, and it looks like that's going to be fairly accurate for Liashenko. That would put her about 6 seconds away. There we go, 6.8. So as they do level off, if you want to, again, around about 16 to 18 seconds, I'd say, is a rough indication in this women's stand-in. Kononova, world champion on a couple of occasions, various events, but former Paralympic, Winter Paralympic gold medalist from Vancouver. 9 seconds in third place currently should be enough. Patenkova Baumann. So far, it's been a case of what may have happened with Patenkova Baumann. 3 fourth-place finishes. Has got form in the sprint now. Silver in Sochi. 22 seconds, though, behind the current leader. Could well be outside of a medal when it comes to the final again. Patenkova Baumann. Mikhiva should have enough to qualify. And will be inside of Patenkova Baumann, so that should be plenty enough. Again, 8 to go through. 10 athletes here. Vita Varon for Poland. One of those actually will be down the field and will be looking for that 8th place. And you've got the likes of Kanashuk to come, 2 Americans, Fedzkovic as well. On occasion this last 10 days have shown a fair bit of form. 6th place at the moment of the 6, and he's going to be on the cusp, I think, of possible qualification. Sydney Peterson, just 19 years old. Couple of medals so far. Middle distance cross country silver medalist for Peterson. Should have plenty to qualify. Into the straight already. And she'll be just outside of the front 3, so we'll be settling in 4th place, it seems. Yeah, 4th place for Sydney Peterson, qualifies very comfortably for the semi-finals. Now she'll be looking for Danielle, her teammate. Now the time here that she'll be looking for, there's 7 who have crossed the line. Obviously the top 8 qualified, so 6th place, if she's inside Patenkova Baumann's time, 3 minutes and 8:86. That's the time she'll be aiming for. She's going to be outside of that time. So Danielle is not going to be qualifying. Here comes the final athlete, Fedzkovic. 6th place for Fedzkovic, inside of Patenkova Baumann's time, and that means that Farron and Arovic will be in 8th and 9th place.
5th, Julia Mikheeva. 6th, Daria Fedzkovic. 7, Julia Patenkova Baumann. 8, Iveta Farron. Number 9 is Danielle Arovic.
Vilda Nilsson qualifies then, 2:46.45. And she is 6.8 seconds ahead of Lyashenko. Kononova not far behind, just less than 9 seconds, but Vilda Nilsson, the home favourite, qualifies as quickest for the semi-finals, and by nearly 7 seconds. Final classification then of the cross-country sprint. It will be the VI and the men's category underway at 11:20 local time here in Lillehammer. So we'll be in 8 minutes' time.
Four minutes to the start, 4 minutes to the next start, the men's wishing in there.
Men's sprint qualification in the VI category. Oleg Ponomarev will set off in front and set the time for the rest to try and qualify. Now in the VI category, now down to just the 8 in qualification. 4 in each of the semi-finals. So in the other competitions, in the other classifications where some of the favourites really have coasted in, easily qualified, an awful lot on the line. 20 athletes. Athletes actually counted on the start list will be starting, and it will be 8 then to go through. Chukleyev, who's going to be one of the favourites. Oleg Ponomarev then to get us underway in a minute's time. Hello, Oleg. Gold medalist in the long distance cross country. Awful lot shorter here, just the one circuit. Does have plenty of form though over the sprint distance, does Oleg Ponomarev. Bronze medalist in Sochi, bronze medalist also in the World Cup World Championships of 2013, silver in 2015. So we know he's good over the long distance, winning that gold medal a few days ago, but also has the form over the shorter distance. Welcome to Lillehammer. If you're just watching for the first time this morning, we're in the qualification round of the cross country. We've had the sitting and also the standing, and now we're on to the VI, vision impaired, and the first in the men's category to get us underway, Oleg Ponomarev of RPC. At Paris No Sports on Twitter. Also, you can find us on Instagram. On Twitter, by the way, all three today. So you have the Nordic with the cross-country sprints. You also can head over and find out what's going on when it comes to the Alpine. And also, James Zanadakis will be commentating on the snowboarding. Alan March over at the Alpine skiing. Myself, Pete Selby, in position in the Nordic Centre once again on this penultimate day here in Lillehammer at the World Para Snow Sports Championships. Racing up the hill, being led by the guide, Andrei Romanov. Athlete starting all the time behind Ponomarev is Stanislav Choklaev, who we'll talk about in a short while because Ponomarev is too far away from finishing his lap. Jake Adikov has just gone off. Nico Messinger will be next. Germany. Taking a different line, the guide. Ponomarev will have a factored time of 100%. He is classed as a B3 athlete. There are B1, B2 and B3 when it comes to vision impairments. And B3 profile does describe the least severe vision impairment eligible for Nordic skiing. Eligible athletes either have a restricted visual field of less than 40 degrees diameter or low visual acuity. So 100% time added on, and then when you go only down one to Stanislav Choklaev following, he is a B1 classified vision impairment athlete, and skiers in this sport class are either blind or have a very low visual acuity. And they will have the 88% then added on to their times. Give an indication, you cannot recognise the letter E, and it's 15 centimetres in size from a distance of 25 centimetres. That's the classification for a B1 athlete. Ponomarev then, with the 100% factored time, sets the time at 3 minutes and 70 seconds. So 3 minutes, dead, 0.77. Well, a bunch on the hill. Choklaev has been caught by Adikov, but then again, Adikov, give you an indication, is a B3 athlete compared to the B1 of Choklaev. So you do have to factor in those times. Adikov with good speed from the United States, 4th in Pyeongchang. Gold medalist here in Lillehammer in the middle distance cross country. Being led by Sam Wood, his guide into the home straights. And as he levels off, he's just over 10 seconds behind. Not far, Stanislav Choklaev. Look at this train towards the line. Adikov's time, 3 minutes and 3:76, just outside of Ponomarev by 3 seconds. And then Choklaev further behind by 8.12 seconds. Nico Messinger of Germany. outside of the leader, and will be outside of Choklev as well. It's going to be about 3 minutes 15. 3 minutes 14.81 again. 15 seconds, 15 to 16 seconds in the home straight is what for the viewers at home and around the world, if you're watching when they enter that home straight, it's how long it takes for them to get to the line. Anthony Chalancon of France. Taking the speed over the bump. Just the 8 to qualify. It's going to be, say, just outside of the Germans' time in 4th place. (3:14.81). He's going to be a few seconds away from that. 3 minutes 19.34 in 5th place, and at the moment I think that's a fairly risky time. Alexander Artemov, RPC, 7th in Sochi, and this looks fairly quick. 3:10.84, just outside Choklev's time, and into 4th place. Dmitry Suako has a time 15 seconds away from the leader. That's surprising. I had Suako as a good chance of a medal. Bronze medalist from Prince George in 2019, the previous World Championships. So he might be quite disappointed with that, and he might well be in the next few minutes, because more and more into the home straight. Kovalevsky 13 seconds away from the leader, but inside Messinger's time, into 5th place. That could well be good enough. Kowalski of Poland. Looking at Messinger's time of 3:14. And inside that time, into 6th place. That's a very good performance from the Polish athletes. Now, Odalsov should be safely qualified. World champion in 2015. There goes Ponomarev's time, but this looks quick. This is going to push the likes of Artemov further down, and qualifies in 3rd. Udaltsov, with that sprinting pedigree, qualifies in 3rd, and that pushes everyone down an extra place. 8th place Messinger, that's the time to be looking for. 3:14. Kowalski as well, 3:14.10. Kienala of Finland. Close to that 3:14. 3:14.70 inside of Messinger, outside of Kowalski. He'll have to wait. Currently in 8th. Vladimir Karulin, RPC. It's going to be outside of the qualification times. Brzezinski will be next, followed by what surely will be a big ovation for Thomas Oxal, young Norwegian. This is going to be outside of qualification time. Brzezinski will just find out as well. Here he is, looks a good time, into 5th place. That might be a slight surprise to many. And that's pushed the likes of Inola out of qualification. Here comes Oxal, and this looks a good time. Thomas Oxal, 6th from Prince George, 22 years old now. It's going to be 3:13.31, and it's going to be a waiting game for the Norwegian. Just tiring late on. It looked to be a good time into the home straight. I thought he might have been in front of Artimov, but he's in 7th place, the Norwegian.
Seventh place for the Norwegian, Oxal. 1.5 seconds behind Ponomarev.
So Oxal will have to wait and see. Latiao of Belarus going to be outside of qualification.
The Belarusian 3:22.17 puts him in 14th place. Number 12 just now is Dmitro Soyarko, Ukraine. Number 11 is Nico Messinger, Germany. And number 10 is Ingi Inola, Finland. Piotr Garbowski, Poland, 9. Those are the ones in dangerous position for a place in the semi-final as Nikita Povarov is coming home.
Nikita Pavarov is going to be outside of the times. Carl Gill, Poland to follow. So once again, Kovalevsky, 3:13.78 in 8th place. It's the time these athletes will need to be inside. Only more athletes left on track.
Det betyder, Thomas, at da du I semifinalen. Det ingen som kan slå deg ut.
So trying to qualify, trying to get in with this time. And you think this is exciting, you wait for trying to win a medal. Don't go anywhere. This cross-country sprints, even in qualification. Very, very exciting, but when it comes to those medals, semi-finals as well, it's going to be a real fight for the semi-finals in this competition, in the men's VI. With those 2 semi-finals of only 4 athletes, Gill then in 17th place. Kravchuk of the Ukraine. Again, he's going to be outside of qualification. Morozhkovsky will be behind him, the Ukrainian athletes. And Georgiev, the Bulgarian, will be the final athlete to cross the line. Then on to the women in the VI. Nowicki inside his fellow Polish athlete Gill's time. So he'll take over in 18th place. So it seems that Kovalevsky will be okay in 8th. And if he does remain in 8th place, he'll have qualified by 0.23 of a second. Georgiev will be the last then to finish, and he will be down the field. So the top 8 then. Kovalevsky will qualify. I suppose the headline news would really be Stanislav Choklev a full 8 seconds off the early pace. Ponomarev qualifying as the fastest here in Lillehammer. Final athlete crosses the line then in the men's VI. Ponomarev, first out, sets the time. Quickest to qualify. Adikov of the United States. Udaltsov former world champion in third. Choklev in fourth. Rezhnetsky, Martimov, Oksol, Kovalyetsky, all qualifying. And the final qualifying round then will be the women's VI. Anna Panferova will get us underway. Three-time gold medalist here. Vera Kilsova also involved, the likes of Shakanenko, who's won a gold. 2 golds in the cross-country so far. Very, very strong field. Plenty of youngsters, including the 17-year-old Razumenea, 20 for Kilsova. Tereshchenkova, a couple of bronze medals in the biathlon. So a very strong field towards the top end of the field. This is going to be, I think, extraordinarily close for the gold. First have to qualify, and will be again the 8 fastest. Should be fairly routine for those favourites, but again, in the conditions, for the guides, etc. And any mistakes in this small field should really be punished. So just a very safe and steady run for the favourites should get them through. Anna Panferova will start us off. (23 years old), bronze medalist in the sprint biathlon. So 3 medals so far for Panferova. A bronze in the biathlon sprints. Also a bronze medal in the long distance cross-country. Silver in the middle. And one of those, I think, will be fighting over a medal. Being encouraged along by her guide, Andrei Zhukov. More and more athletes setting off in behind. Panferova, Kilsova, Shakanenko, Karina Edlinger of Austria. Plenty of RPC athletes here. I'd be surprised if it's a 1, 2, 3. But in which order? Panferova will be hoping one of those places will be her. Well, the conditions are getting worse, aren't they? Quite difficult to see the athletes even on camera now coming down the final slope. Panferova then will set the time. And it's going to be around 2 minutes 45. Slightly inside that. 2:43 and 27 for Panferova. Now here's Svetlana Sakhanenko. Well, here's Sakhanenko, 173. The question is, where's 172? Vera Kilsova, the three-time gold medalist. Well, Sakhanenko, that's a good time. Kilsova, here she is. Now, hearing that Kilsova has taken the wrong course. She's taken the men's course. So here she is in the home straight. The time of 2 minutes 43:27. She's not going to be too far off that. 3:49:21. If I just work that out, hang on, she's well over a minute behind that. Well, Vera Kilsova, let's just concentrate on her for a second. 3:49, so that's a full minute and 5 seconds outside of top spot at the moment. And I'm hearing it's because she's taken the wrong course. Obviously the guide as well. They've left the stadium complex, they've gone out into the fog, and they have taken the wrong course, and thus they are now a minute behind, and well, they're going to be out of the contest. They won't be in the first 8. So the three-time gold medalist in the biathlon here in Lillehammer, silver and bronze medal winner in the cross country, Vera Kilsova, the 20-year-old star of these games in the women's VI, dramatically will be out of the competition. Let's pick up the rest as they start to filter through. Smirnova in 5th place. At the moment, Panferova 2:43:27, Sakhanenko 2:44:38. Galitsnaya 2:55:40, Edlinger then 3 minutes. Well, what a turn-up we've had here. We've had a number of incidents this week. We've had Giuseppe Ramelle going into another circuit and costing himself gold.
Number 3, as we are waiting for Oksana Shyskova of Ukraine, number 178.
We also had Godkov at one stage was going to follow suit and do the same when a coach had to run across and tell him to turn around and go in the home straight and cross the line and win gold. Shyskova into 5th place.
Margarita
Tereshchenkova will be one of these athletes now looking at the as what happened to Kilsova and thinking it might be a chance for a gold. She qualifies currently in 3rd place, only just less than 4 seconds behind the current leader, Panferova. Katerina Razubanea, down to 17-year-old. More than likely is now taken over as the favourite here. 3-time silver medalist this week in Lillehammer. And the 17-year-old is going to qualify. She's going to be outside of the front pair. She's going to qualify in 4th place. But again, the news will filter through of what's happened to Kilsova. And any of these athletes who are qualifying in the first 8, I think, are going to be thinking a medal is mine.
Secured a place in the semi-final are Pavlerova, Linka, Terechikova, and Razumania.
Kazmaier of Germany. Lynn Kazmaier, just 15 years old and been cheered to the line. Again, that qualification first 8. 9th place for her. Aneta Gorska of Poland. 2 more to cross the line at the moment. Karina Edlinger in 8th place. So the defending champion
Poland
will be qualifying in the final place. So the defending champ is through. Oh, slight stumble there before the line. It's just through sheer exhaustion. Everything into that. As Gorska. Final athlete, Kachenko of Ukraine. And she crosses the line in 11th place. Well, drama then. Mentioned it was any slight mistake with only a small field of 13, 8 to go through, and it will be punished. I didn't think the mistake would come in the form it has. Panferova then qualifies as the fastest in 2:43.27, down to defending champion Karina Edlinger in 8th place. But the story really of the women's VI is the 3-time gold medalist this week, Vera Kilsova, the 20-year-old star from RPC, taking the wrong course and finishes a minute behind the leader and is out of the competition. So drama in qualification, and I'm sure plenty more will follow in the semi-finals. They will start at midday here in Lillehammer. So in only 12 minutes time, make sure you stay with us.